A federal judge has ordered the detention of one of 5 alleged gang members of the O Block Street Gang. And these members are accused of racketeering indictment of a last year's broad daylight Gold Coast murder of rapper FBG Duck, which a prosecutor said is on video. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jason Julian said Tacarlos, a 30-year-old, purchased the vehicle used as the lead car in the August the 4th, 2020 murder. He said that vehicle then returned to the dealership in the suburbs about an hour after the deadly shooting. FBG Duck, whose real name was Carlton Weekly, was shot to death in the first block of East Oak Street as shoppers milled about. Julian said the rapper was shot at least 38 times and 2 other people were also wounded. The shooting occurred around 4:30 p.m. And Julian said Alfred's car was returned to the dealership around 5:30. Julian also said the car was seen on police POD cameras and license plate readers. In an indictment unsealed this week, it charged Alfred and 4 others with murder in aid of racketeering. Alfred's co-defendants are Charles C. Murder Liggins, a 30-year-old, Kenneth Kenny Robertson, a 28-year-old, Christopher C. Thang Thomas, a 22-year-old, and Marcus Muwap Smart, another 22-year-old. Thomas and Smart were arrested early Wednesday morning. Robertson was already in custody at the Cook County Department of Corrections. If convicted of the murder charge, the men face a minimum of life in prison and a potential death sentence. They are also charged with assaulting the 2 unarmed victims as well as firearms offenses. John Somerville, Alfred's defense attorney, argued on Friday's detention hearing that prosecutors had offered no evidence that Alfred was involved in the crime. Mr. Alfred bought a car, Somerville said. Some unknown person was in the car. Some unknown person may have driven downtown. But U.S. Magistrate Judge David Wiseman, who ordered Alfred detained, noted that a grand jury had already found probable cause to charge Alfred and the others in the incident. Julian also told the judge it appeared Alfred had lied to court personnel about his residence and employment status. Police have said FBG Duck made derogatory statements toward deceased members of the Black Disciples on social media, a possible motive for his fatal shooting in the heart of the luxury shopping district on Oak Street. FBG Duck is allegedly associated with a faction of the Gangster Disciple street gang called Gyro City, which was based near 62nd Street and Vernon Avenue in West Woodlawn. Police also said last year there was a high threat level in an ongoing conflict between those Gangster Disciples and the O Block faction of the Black Disciples from the Parkway Gardens apartments near 63rd Street and Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. O.D. Perry, a member of a Black Disciples faction in Parkway Gardens, was shot to death in 2011, and the faction was dubbed O Block in his honor. FBG Duck was also affiliated with the Flyboy Gang, which is a group of rappers. According to the Chicago Sun-Times story in 2017, his brother Jermaine Robertson was a rapper who went by FBG Brick. He and his friend Stanley Mack were shot to death in Woodlawn in July 2017. So that's pretty crazy, and it's a hell of a mishap when your brother allegedly gets killed by the same group of people that you get killed by. Because street violence is not a joke. That street violence is very crazy, and especially nowadays when these youngsters got heavy artillery. And it's a shame. And sometimes I just be like, well, if you want to be that much of a killer, why don't you just go to the military and they're going to pay you to do it and plus give you benefits when you get out. That's what I would think. And 9 times out of 10, these beefs be over nothing. Just like they said with FBG Duck, that he disrespected one of their dead homies, you know, and say he dissed the dead homie, or whatever they call it in Chicago, smoking a pack or something of that matter. Don't quote me on it, but we got to change up the way we do things. And I'm still going to say, and I've been saying, social media, it's definitely going to be the death of the young blacks. And it's proven facts to be. And you young people are going to have to change that. Even if you have to stay off social media, you're going to have to do what you have to do to make sure that you don't become a victim of this madness. And with that, I'm going to say this is the new Zenu, North, East, West, South. Unite from Heavy Alley and Cali in the section in Backstreet. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.